Frieze is an international contemporary art fair that takes place every October in London's Regent's Park. During the fair, all of London is buzzing with international travellers, art world bigwigs, and yep, a few celebrities.
It's one of the chief fairs that made the name of contemporary art. There's still just as much of a buzz about it as there ever was.
There's an incredible energy in London at the moment.
For London, it's the contemporary art world coming back home.
London in Britain has been the centre of artistic activity for 10, 15, 20 years now.
Founded in 2003, the Frieze Art Fair has joined Basel, Miami and Venice as an essential stop on the contemporary art festival circuit.
The art world is punctuated by just a couple of key moments in the year, and London is very fortunate to have one of those moments each October.
Since Frieze is held in London in the fall, this art fair obviously has a different personality than, say, Art Basel Miami Beach.
The Frieze personality is just all about the fall. You know, with Miami, you're escaping reality, going to the beach. London is so beautiful in October. The leaves are orange, there's still some sunshine. So it's just amazing to experience the whole city, and the fair really ignites this week.
Outside the fair itself, which attracts 150 international contemporary art galleries, there's a growing number of fringe events that pop up around London during the week of the fair.
The galleries, the museums, the private collections all put on, an incredible event. The best shows of the year are happening at this time, so it's a great way to come in, and see a lot.
There's certainly a lot to see, too much in fact. So on this program, we're going to show you the best of the best. Welcome to the show. I'm Mark Elwood, your host and Frieze guest. I'm going to take you behind the velvet ropes and give you a real insider's guide. I'm going to ask all the awkward questions and do the legwork so you don't have to. I'll pratfall so you can pirouette. Few people know their way around Frieze as well as Phil Abraham from the Alison Jakes Gallery. I feel like I need to be studied up on art to come here. Is it okay to be a newbie? Or do I need to read a few art books? How do you know?
Oh no, it's absolutely perfect introduction. I mean, the reason that I started working in the art world was I think I went to the second or third edition of the Frieze Art Fair, and I just never seen anything like it. There was just such an eclectic, sensorial assault, an awful lot of amazing art, obviously some awful stuff, but it's a great way to initiate yourself.
Good to know. You can be a beginner or an experienced jet setter. This fair works for both of you. But don't expect your Frieze experience to be anything like the gallery hopping you're used to doing at home. You're not in Manhattan, you're in London.
Geographically, the whole London art world is spread over the whole of London. So you need to sort of do a bit of research, figure out what makes sense in terms of doing this group of galleries this afternoon in this neighbourhood and then moving it. And if you do a bit of prep work, it'll be much easier.
A good pair of sneakers is essential at Frieze, but as we'll see later, not any old pair will do. The bottom line is this: to give yourself half a chance to see the art you want to, expect to do some walking or running.
I think if you don't run, then you probably won't be able to achieve all the things that you want to at the same time.
Do you need stamina? How do you train for Frieze?
You definitely need stamina. You have to watch your nutrition before, you have to sleep a lot, and then you have to really be prepared for a very intense week of 5 hours of sleep maximum, and everyone is serving champagne everywhere. You have to pace yourself.
Do people really drink the champagne in the middle of the afternoon, or is it just for decoration?
The English drink the champagne, the Americans tend not to.
Really?
But, yeah.
So to look like a local, you should drink the champagne?
You should drink the champagne, yeah.
My big tip is no hard liquor. Keep it beer and wine, you'll be alright. Because the hangovers in a fair and the lighting just doesn't work.
Like, what's the big insider secret to survive Frieze, enjoy Frieze?
Juice diet for 3 days beforehand because of all the champagne I'm going to be drinking.
It's readily apparent on a visit here that there are two sides to Frieze: the art and the parties. To the uninitiated, these don't always go well together.
This is a serious business. If you're here to sort of hang out, that's fine, then the champagne's for you. If you're here to look and discover artists, but really discover artists, discover new things, then you need to get on your trainers and pace the floor. Exactly. Otherwise, glasses of champagne don't really do it. You have a great time, maybe end up with a hangover, but you're not looking at art.
So let's review what we've learned and see if we can put together a strategy for attending the Frieze Art Fair. I'll need to know the lay of the land, since events are spread out all across London.
You have to get all over the city to get to everything.
I'll also need to maintain a sharp distinction between work and play.
I'm a journalist, and so I just don't drink alcohol at these things anymore because I have to go home and write.
This is all good advice, but I still need a strategy for exactly where to go, since I know I can't be everywhere at once. London is huge.
It contains about over 1 million small pieces of sunflower seeds. It's all made by hand. I think it's a good idea to really make this very common household object into a large field, so people can walk on it to enjoy the kind of texture, sound, and kind of mood.
Explain to me why the turbine hall is so important, and what has Ai Weiwei done with it that's so great?
Actually, Ai Weiwei gave a talk last night, and he actually talked about what's so special about the turbine hall. And what's incredible is that it's a place to do really serious work that's tough, but also a space that's just so accessible, where people really come and experience the work. So it's a work that can operate in the art world on one level and really connect, with humanity on another level. And that space, because of the grandness, because of where it sits, in the city, is a really special place for artists. And I think artists are challenged to do really amazing work because of the scale of the space.
I'm going to sift through a dizzying schedule of events and figure out where I really need to be and what I can skip. What are the best parties and how do you get in? And how do you fit in? I'm on a mission to find the answers to these questions. Unfortunately, an art fair like Frieze offers the opportunity to rub shoulders with some major power players in the art world. So throughout the fair, I'm going to seek out the real Frieze veterans, the most prominent collectors, gallerists, and artists alike, pick their brains to get the inside scoop. These are some of the people I'll be talking to. Collectors like Chris Drake and Russian heavy hitter Maria Baybakova, important artists such as Isaac Julian and Beijing's Ai Weiwei, respected gallerists like socialite Julia Peyton-Jones, and journalist Sarah Douglas from Art and Auction magazine. But the person I'm most looking forward to meeting is Marina Abramovich, the performance artist who made a splash at MoMA in the spring of 2010 with her exhibition The Artist is Present. Abramovich is now the toast of London, and I want to find out, above all, what her experience is like at Frieze. All this when we return.